Road trip gets underway July 5th on NEPM. You're watching New England Public Media on WGBY Springfield.
Brian just threw away the rule book.
The level of musicianship and musicality.
Brian's a genius.
You know there's something going on with Brian Wilson.
The idea of doing an interview makes Brian nervous, so he'll often ask if we can just take a drive and listen to some music.
Meet Brian Wilson Tuesday at 9 on NEPM. Connecting Point on NEPM is brought to you by Berkshire Museum in Pittsfield, presenting Art of the Hills, Visual Evidence, a juried art exhibition celebrating the creative culture of the region, highlighting the works of both emerging and established Berkshire-based artists. More information at berkshiremuseum.org.
Coming up, we're connecting you with the creativity and culture in your community, including a family business which has stood the test of time.
My poor father used to say, "See this oven? That's my Cadillac." Because at the time, the oven cost about as much as a Cadillac did.
It's lights, camera, and action.
It's one of the longest running queer film festivals in the country. This year's festival, we have 113 films being shown.
And if you love asparagus, well, we've got the perfect ice cream for you. Yes, you heard it correctly, asparagus ice cream.
It is a unique flavor, and when people first hear about it, they're like, I'm not so sure. But it works.
Join us for those stories and more as we explore the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. Up next on Connecting Point.
Support for Connecting Point is provided by our contributing viewers.
Welcome, and thanks for joining us for Connecting Point, your source for creativity, culture, and community. I'm Saidalis Bauer. Each week this summer, we're exploring all that Western New England has to offer, and today we're coming to you from the Quadrangle outside of the Springfield Museums in Hampden County. There's a lot to celebrate here this summer, as it's the 5th anniversary of the Amazing World of Dr. Seuss Museum, the 20th anniversary of the Dr. Seuss National Memorial Sculpture Garden, and the opening of Ted's House and Innovation Center. These attractions all honor Springfield native Dr. Seuss and his incredible contributions to children's literature. But our first story today takes us miles away from the streets of the city and into the idyllic farmlands of Hampshire County. One of the most celebrated foods grown in our region is asparagus, and the annual crop that comes from Hadley, Massachusetts is considered some of the best in the world. Known by many as Hadley Grass, the speary crop can be found at farm stands, restaurants, and dinner tables this time of year. And as producer Dave Frazier found out, it can even be found in ice cream.
All right, good stuff. It is a unique flavor, and when people first hear about it, they're like, I'm not so sure. But it works.
Mixed with asparagus and almonds, Hadley Grass ice cream is an annual tradition at Flavors of Cook Farm in Hadley. The family-owned ice cream stand will make several gallons throughout the 6 to 8 week growing season.
Mid to late April, we start getting phone calls asking if it's ready. We have people come from Boston, from New Hampshire, all over, asking, do we have it yet?
Asparagus, or Hadley Grass as it is still called in these parts, was once a mainstay of the local economy and an important source of community spirit. During the annual harvest in May and June, young and old would join forces to help pick, sort, trim, and bunch a total of about 50 tons of the vegetable by hand each day.
Number one, we've got the soil. Our soil produces delicious asparagus. Another thing, we've got the broad open fields. You don't have to go very far from where we are right now to have hilly, gravelly soil. So we've got that alluvial plain along the river, the old floodplain.
When I was a kid, asparagus was huge in Hadley. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres. As a matter of fact, when we went to school in the morning, during asparagus season, school would start later. Instead of starting at 8 o'clock, it started at 9:30. And that's so all the kids could go out and pick in the morning.
Wally Sykowski's Plainville farm is the largest asparagus grower in town. A third-generation farmer, he grows on what he calls some of the best land in the world.
Right now, the crowns are sending up shoots because it's time to grow. And every time they send up a shoot, we come through and we cut it off. And they send up another one, and we cut it off. And they send up another one, and we cut it off. This goes on for 6 weeks.
6 weeks of harvest means up to 40 rounds of cuttings from each asparagus plant. The root system of the plant is known as the crown. Throughout the summer and fall, healthy asparagus plants pump nutrients down into the crown. Once spring hits, the healthy crowns are ready to send shoots skyward. Psychowski's crew will typically harvest from the same asparagus plant for up to 14 years.
There's nothing that eats like asparagus. It's the first thing of the season. And there's something about being first. It's a good thing.
Tom Wiskevitz is a lifelong Hadley resident and third-generation farmer who is not only continuing the tradition of growing asparagus, but also spearheading a mission to make Hadley the official asparagus capital of the world.
I called up Michigan, Minnesota, California, and New Jersey, all big growers of asparagus. They all knew of Hadley. It was amazing to me. All of these states and offices knew of Hadley asparagus, and they said, no, that is Hadley's claim. It's all yours. So we're really proud about that. People want it fresh, just picked. They know that. They want to cook that lunch or dinner that night because it's got so much flavor. So ideally, if you can eat it 12 hours from being harvested, you're golden. You'll love it.
Back at Flavors of Cook Farm, time is running out if you want to try this year's Hadley Grass.
We usually have it through probably the first or second week of June. Probably second week of June we still have it. Once the growing season stops, we have it until we're out.
And while for most of us, a stop at an ice cream shop is a summer treat, for the Cook family, it's their entire life. Flavors of Cook Farm ice cream is nestled between a handful of dairy cows and some old wooden barns on the property of Cook's Farm in Hadley. And in this digital extra, Debbie Cook explains how the family has adapted with the changing times to remain a staple in the community.
We opened in 1998. This idea was Beth's dream, my mother-in-law's dream. She worked in the barn and she wanted a different kind of messy than the barn messy. She always dreamed of having an ice cream shop. She was very social and loved having people gather together.
You can find that digital extra and so much more right now on our webpage at nepm.org/connectingpoint. The Connecticut LGBTQ Film Festival is back for its 35th year. This 10-day festival presented by Outfilm CT is taking place from June 3rd through the 12th in Hartford and will feature over 100 films from over 25 countries. Known as being Connecticut's longest-running film festival, this year the event looks forward to welcoming back attendees in person as well as virtually. I spoke to festival co-director Shane Engstrom to learn more.
The festival itself was started back in 1988, the first festival, but it was part of a larger organization called Alternatives, and they had like theater productions, they had a literary magazine, and it was kind of a, an opportunity for the LGBTQ community to get some artistic content out into the community. So the festival was part of that, and unfortunately it's the only part of the original organization that has carried through for the 35 years.
I understand that early in the years of the festival, you all were met with some challenges, and being part, there was not a lot of publicity, and also events for the LGBTQ community weren't that common then. But the festival is obviously still here 35 years later. So can you talk about how this event has grown and how it has found success throughout the years?
Yeah, well, I mean, like to your point, when the very first festival happened, they actually showed up with TV cameras there. And so many people were afraid to be shown on TV because of just the atmosphere in those days. But a lot has changed since. And, the festival has continued to grow year over year. It's now like a 10-day festival, whereas when it first started, it was a short 2 programs on 2 separate weekends. And this year's festival, we have 113 films being shown from 28 different countries over 10 days. And we're also online as well as in the theaters. So it's really blossomed.
So let's talk a little bit about this year's festival. As you mentioned, it was 2 programs. This year, 31 programs featuring over 100 films and features to watch. What can people expect at this year's festival?
We always try to find films that reflect all aspects of the LGBTQ community. So we'll have documentaries, we will have feature films, we'll have 9 different shorts programs in all different categories: gay, lesbian, bisexual, international, BIPOC. And we really try to hit on all of the different categories so that people have an opportunity to see themselves on the big screen.
With so many diverse films and such a variety of things to choose for, what are you personally most excited to view at the festival?
I love all of them, honestly, but we have some great films coming up this weekend. We have the film Keep the Cameras Rolling. I don't know if you remember MTV Real World, when Pedro Zamora was first introduced, the first guy to be on TV with AIDS and living in a house. There's a fascinating documentary about him that will be showing virtually online, and we had an opportunity to have a Q&A with the film's co-directors. So that's another aspect of having a festival that's different than just going to the Cineplex down the road, is you actually get to talk to some of the people making the films and getting insights from them. Also, there's a film that's only showing at Cinestudio in Hartford called Great Freedom, which is it's an amazing film set in Germany. And it's about this guy who got out of the concentration camps, but then was put right back into prison again because he had violated paragraph 175, which outlawed being gay in Germany. So people don't really realize that, that was going on back then. And it's a fascinating story, really well made. And it was Austria's Oscar submission for international film this year. It just goes to show the quality of the films that we're showing.
This year, the parties are back, which is you all are really excited about. So tell me about those and what you're looking forward to most about bringing them back.
Yeah, we had our great opening party, which was wonderful at Trinity College. But coming up this weekend on closing night, we're actually going to be having our closing night party at the Connecticut Science Center in Hartford. So we have two films that are showing that night. One at Apple Cinemas right there on Front Street in Hartford, which used to be the Spotlight Theaters, but it changed to Apple Cinemas. And that one is kind of the women's feature film called Girl Picture. And then the men's film is called Wildhood, which is playing at the Connecticut Science Center. They're just a block away, so everyone's going to come together for the big party afterwards. It's going to be a great time. We have, food, drinks, music. We will have a DJ, so it's always a great time.
Since 1912, the Balboni bakery in Agawam has stood the test of time. Now being run by the 4th generation of the family, they're still producing their famous star bread, among many other treats created from that time-honored combination of yeast, water, flour, and a hot oven. Connecting Point's Brian Sullivan visited the King Street neighborhood in Agawam to bring us the story.
Sometimes the best way to beat the competition is to outlast them. The best way to do that sometimes requires maintaining a low profile. And nothing says low profile like being tucked away on a street that could be found in any town USA, with a storefront entryway not much bigger than that of a backyard shed. It also helps to have equipment that was built to last.
The rounder you might have seen in there, that was bought during Woodrow Wilson's presidency. Okay, and the roll sheeter was bought during Eisenhower's presidency. And the oven was also bought during Eisenhower's presidency, and because that room here next to me was the old Hearth's brick oven, and we had it removed and we put a new room on and a new oven. And my poor father used to say, "See this oven? That's my Cadillac," because at the time the oven cost about as much as a Cadillac did.
This classic bakery is a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday operation, with 4th generation Mark Balboni handling the day-to-day, including deliveries. And twin sister Monica gives up her nursing title for a couple of days to work the oven on the weekends. Around these parts, that's kind of a big deal.
The oven has always been considered like the heart of the bakery. That's where the bread gets cooked. You know, there's a special skill set because you have to make sure it doesn't get burned. It's not underdone. It's cooked through. And traditionally, for the 110 so years before this, it had been you know, the guys were in the oven room. There was never any women in the oven room. So I'm the first. Now, my cousin Kara, she did go in there with her dad every once in a while. And I remember, I was probably about 15 at the time, and I'm thinking, that's going to be me one day. And here we are.
When we dropped by on this Saturday morning, it was already time for the second shift, and there were 3 generations in house. This included Monica and Mark's father, Ken Balboni, who started working here when he was just 7 years old. And now he gets to see the lasting legacy of this 110-year-old bakery.
It means something that we're lasted as long as we have. And because there were plenty of competitors back in the day, but they've all disappeared. So many people have said, I came here when I was a kid, and I liked it so much they came back. And even when they live out of town, they make it a point to come here to get the bread.
The number one bread in question that keeps them coming back would have to be the star bread, also known as hornbread or bolognese bread. Whatever moniker it takes on, it's a delectable 4-cornered, crusty sourdough bread, and Balboni's is one of the few places left that still makes it. Apparently, they've been making it right for all these years.
I grew up coming here on Sundays to grab bread, for Sunday dinner, and I've just pretty much kept doing it, throughout my life, getting married and raising my family. We've been coming here forever. We call it the hidden bakery, in our family because, you drive right by it. But it's really important to have these family businesses in town, and we love supporting them, so that's another big reason why we come here.
When we first arrived this morning, the family seemed pretty intent on me getting my hands dirty. The only question was, what would I be making? Well, after sizing me up, they decided to set their expectations a little lower for me. The original plan was to have me try to make a star bread, but that's a little too advanced. So they took pity on me and let me make some breadsticks instead. It's a pretty safe bet that these sticks didn't make it to market. But now in the year 2022, it's 110 years and counting that the Balboni family is delivering their baked goods to several area markets. The onus of continuing that legacy now rests on the shoulders of twins Mark and Monica. Stressful? Maybe. Fun to still be able to work closely with family? Definitely.
It's great working together. I mean, it really builds a bond that you can't get in any other sort of situation. I mean, here and there are tiffs, and we do go back and forth on who has the better skills and or ideas for what the bread needs. But in the end, it's great.
Every week, Connecting Point explores the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. But it doesn't stop there. You can find us online anytime for exclusive features and content. And in this week's digital exclusive, third-generation bread maker Martin Balboni of Balboni Family Bakery in Agawam discusses the changes to the King Street neighborhood over the years and where he sees the operation going in the future.
It was centered around the mills, the paper mills. And once you go out the bakery, people used to walk to work back then. And they'd walk to work, to the mill, and come back on their way home, stop here, and buy their bread.
You can find that digital exclusive online right now at nepm.org/connectingpoint. Following in the footsteps of his mother, Pittsfield native and author Kevin O'Hara became a nurse and went on to spend 3 decades working in a psychiatric ward at Berkshire Medical Center. His memoir, entitled Ins and Outs of a Locked Ward, takes readers on a journey through this time as O'Hara reflects on his career, offering insights into mental illness and how treatments have changed throughout the years. I spoke with O'Hara to learn more about the book and his experiences.
I believe 4,000 patients came through the turnstiles during my tenure there. So that's hard to pinpoint. Many anecdotes. Many of which took place when I was an orderly. They were the trying times. I recall one event when we had this man who was forever felt as though he was constipated, though he wasn't. And he was forever asking for the bedpan. and always asking for the bedpan and say, "Did I go, Joe?" afterwards. And of course, we rolled him off the bedpan, and of course, it was empty, and he had gone twice already anyhow, and there was no end in sight. And sure enough, I was outside in the hall after we drew the curtains and put the bedpan beneath him again, and there was a dietary cart there with a baked potato in it. So when I rolled him over, slipped into the bedpan, he shouted his regular refrain, "Did I go, Joe?" And I took the bedpan, I rumbled it over his head. I said, "My God, Mr. Reynolds, did you ever?" And from then on, he said, "That's the mother lode I've been waiting on." And sure enough, I cured him. I cured him, so that was just one moment of many, many moments. But that one seems to come to mind. And of course, being an Irishman saved by a potato, that's not a bad thing.
Much like the story that you just told, you take a humorous approach to a lot of these stories. I mean, when you hear psychiatric nurse or psych unit, psych ward, your mind tends to go to kind of a serious place, but you take a little bit of that seriousness out of it. So why do you take this approach when thinking about the stories and telling the stories?
Well, as they say, humor is the best medicine. And it was also a great barometer to how someone was doing. It made light of it. It was trench humor, foxhole humor, more or less, but it got you through difficult times. There are many, many things. They called me Nurse Light. All right. That was my nickname, Nurse Light, because I had only done my 30 years as a psychiatric nurse. I never went to ICU or CCU or the medical unit. So I was absolutely hopeless in a Mayday situation. In fact, to be honest with you, I didn't know the difference between a cardiac paddle and a ping pong paddle, so I was desperate. But I was also called a PES nurse because one thing I could do well was pass medications. Although in the book, I do talk about 3 or 4 of my mistakes. Fortunately, they never sent anybody to room 500. That's the morgue. But I had a couple of close calls. But we figured out that over the years, I had dished out over 250,000 pills.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a walloping of number. That's 250,000 pills. And I think I only made 3 or 4 mistakes.
Hey, that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good track record, right? We're all allowed a couple mistakes.
Yeah, that I know of anyways, right?
Right. Well, and I want to also talk, because some of this stuff that, you're talking about, we're laughing because, as you said, humor is great medicine, but it's really some serious and heavy stuff. What did you learn about yourself during these 3 decades as a psychiatric nurse?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm back to the starting point. I don't know, just a whole wash of different emotions. I learned that patients generally tell the truth, like children, especially chronic patients. But I saw all sorts of emotion. And in the book, it's a real, I suppose, roller coaster of emotion, because some stories just aren't happy and they'll never be happy, right? But there's a nice lining behind it, and you get a sense. People who have read the book say it gives a great humanizing to a patient, and that they're just like us, and everybody's just trying to get by as best they could. And that's evident in the stories, not the way I wrote them, but the way they were. So I tried to be as truthful as I could on the page when I spoke and wrote about, people's struggles, everyday struggles, things that we take for granted. Quick example, we had a patient who was very paranoid. Took her out on a pass just to see how she was doing. She was with us for about 8 or 10 days, but it was time for her to test the waters. And she seemed very good indoors or in the courtyard where we spent some time. But when she was outside, out of the building, a fellow walked by us with a Bum t-shirt. It's a name brand. It says Bum on it. And, but she started, wallowing and had to go back because she was convinced that he wore that sweatshirt to mock her because she didn't have a job. So that's how sensitive people can be. Then, of course, we had another guy, and I saw him with the shoes on the wrong feet. And I pointed it out to him. I said, look, you had your shoes on the right feet. He said, I know. I just wanted to know what it was like to wake up with your foot, shoe on the wrong foot. So okay, got it.
That completely reminds me of a child, right? It's just like, I just want to try a quick experiment.
Right.
So, Kevin, this is your 4th memoir to date. What would be the ideal takeaway that you hope readers have after reading this book?
A greater understanding, perhaps, of the struggles of these folks. I mean, you pass them on the streets all the time. Most people don't acknowledge them. It's just a tough old go, and to be aware of that would help. In fact, just to give you an idea, we had a patient, and he was stopped by the police because he kept crossing, hitting a red light to cross a pedestrian red light on North Street here in Pittsfield. And when he was asked why he was doing it, I guess he had been doing it for an hour or two, back and forth, traffic everywhere, right? And when he asked why he did it, he said, it's the only time in my life I feel like I get respect.
And for more from author Kevin O'Hara, head over to Connecting Point online for a digital extra as he reads excerpts from his book, Ins and Outs of a Locked Ward, giving us a glimpse of what life was like during his 30 years as a psychiatric nurse at Berkshire Medical Center in Pittsfield.
Once we got him off the stretcher, he walked with a wobble, as if punch drunk, or maybe he had rickets as a kid. He had little body odor, true enough, but his worn shirt and stained pants stank of urine and mildew. All told, Stanislaw Krystolowicz was the strangest little dude who ever graced our unit, and that's saying a mouthful.
You can find that digital extra available right now on our webpage. And that does it for this edition of Connecting Point. Remember, you can always find all of the stories that you saw in this episode, as well as exclusive features, digital-only content, and so much more online anytime at nepm.org/connectingpoint. Our thanks to the Springfield Museums for hosting us today. And please be sure to join us again every week right here for more stories of the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. I'm Saidalis Bauer. Thanks for watching and take care.
Support for Connecting Point is provided by our contributing viewers. Connecting Point on NEPM is brought to you by Berkshire Museum in Pittsfield, presenting Art of the Hills, Visual Evidence, a juried art exhibition celebrating the creative culture of the region, highlighting the works of both emerging and established Berkshire-based artists. More information at berkshiremuseum.org. Connecting Point's online multimedia project, Divided Scenes from Inauguration 2021, has been selected by the Academy of Interactive and Visual Arts as a winner in the 28th Annual Communicator Awards. The awards recognize excellence, effectiveness, and innovation across all areas of communication. Divided chronicled the inauguration of President Joe Biden in the wake of the January 6th insurrection through photography, audio interviews, and video. Congratulations to contributing photojournalist Barry Goldstein and the Connecting Point team.
The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band celebrates 50 years shaping America's music with Vince Gill, Jackson Brown, Allison Krauss, John Prine, Rodney Crowell, Jerry Jeff Walker, Jerry Douglas, Sam Bush, Byron House, and Jimmy Ibbotson. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band and Friends.
Celebrate 50 years of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band next. The NEPM Asparagus Festival returned to the Hadley Town Common.
This is my friend George.
With Curious George, Nature Cats, Mr. G, farmers and makers, and so much fun.
This has been fantastic, and I'm glad I was able to do it.
Thank you to everyone who supported the festival and helped grow the next crop of programs on NEPM.
Let's go. I'm Mona Haidar, and this is my husband, Sebastian Robbins. We're on the road for 3 weeks to follow the Muslim thread woven through the fabric of our country.
The American story is the Muslim story.
There is a legendary Muslim here Look at that view.
Wow.
Now we are in the American West.
We're taking the Great Muslim American Road Trip.
The Great Muslim American Road Trip gets underway July 5th on NEPM. New England Public Media is sponsored in part by our contributing viewers and by
You're watching New England Public Media, WGBY Springfield.
Brian just threw away the rule book.
The level of musicianship, I don't think anybody's touched it yet.
People say Brian's a genius.
And the pressure that comes with that.
You know there's something going on with Brian Wilson.
The idea of doing an interview makes Brian nervous, so he'll often ask if we can just take a drive and listen to some music.
The rooftop is down. The story begins.
It was a trip.
Meet Brian Wilson Tuesday at 9 or stream at NEPM